Ain't a hint of sun out here and I'm still wearing my shades. Don't make fun of it. Been away for a while, been doing life, been doing things. Hope everybody's well. I got about 10 to 15 of you guys who are like, you know, ride or dies. You always leave comments. You always engage with my content, and I want to thank you for that. Let's get to the point of the video. So I told you in a previous video that these estranged parents with their movements and all their little groups they're getting together, I told you that no matter how much prominence they got and how much attention they got from people like Oprah and people doing stories on the estrangement fad, right, trend, I told you on a video that no matter how much of them, how much they're getting, their movement will ultimately fail. Here's why. It's already happening. Okay? A few reasons. But chief among them, what is the reason we went no contact with these people? What is the fundamental reason? We can't get along with these people. You cannot engage with these people. They are disagreeable people. They are competitive people. Okay? They are vindictive people. They are conniving people. They can't be together. You see, the thing about being a jerk, right? If you're in a situation and you're a jerk, you need the other party in the situation to not be a jerk in order for your jerkness to shine through and overpower everything. So when you got a whole bunch of jerks, like, I mean, these motherfuckers are going on cruises. These estranged parents are forming groups and going on fucking cruises, right? So they're going on cruises. So imagine being stuck on a ship, right? Say you're an estranged parent. You're stuck on a ship with nothing but your kind. Might be fun for a minute. You know, you might be drinking some banana daiquiris and stuff like that because, you know, most of the time this is mothers. This is mostly, you know, women on these retreats. So you done had your apple teeny and your banana daiquiri and whatever the hell else. Okay, and you've talked about the same 5 subjects you all have in common, and then one of you, and then you start to notice that you're not being treated well by the other estranged parents because of whatever reason. Because they never ever matured past the mean girl stage that a lot of these fucking narcs go through. They never matured. So long story short, you're gonna find yourself as an estranged parent in these groups, okay, getting out jerked. There will be no one there to receive the jerkage. You will be out jerked. You'll have nowhere for that energy to go. You'll decide that all the other estranged parents are jealous of you because that's what they always think. They always think people are jealous of them, and they always think that, you know, people just despise them having anything. Okay? They're probably going to start going no contact with each other. Once they see that happens, once they see that it's a whole ship full of jerks, a whole podcast full of jerks, a whole this full of jerks, once they see that they're surrounded by their own kind, it will fail. It will implode. It's already happening. There are videos. One guy called Ollie Matthews runs a channel called Societal Narcissism. And, you know, quick pivot. I'm going to have to get the means together so I can do reaction videos because it really makes no sense to talk about it without showing you the person. And I think that it would be very valuable for this channel for me to be able to do that and go ahead and take a look at these people and respond to them in real time. Okay? But going back to the point, they're going to start going no contact with each other because of all the aforementioned reasons. Okay, so that's one reason that it's going to fail. A second reason is, here's the thing. Narcissistic people, like, have you ever watched Code Blue Cam? And you see people stealing in a Walmart, and you think to yourself, okay, so this is the 8,000th video I've seen of a motherfucker stealing a Walmart. And I mean, in the most obvious way in the world. This is like the 8,000th time I've seen this. The only thing that changes is the store location and the subject, okay, that's suspected of the crime. But it's always the same. And I always ask myself, how the fuck do they feel like they're gonna get away with this shit? How are you gonna... There are cameras everywhere in Walmart, right? It should be so obvious that you're gonna get caught. Then I realized that's a part of the narcissistic brain. You know, they feel like, and a lot of people with personality disorders have this, they feel like people can't see them, can't see what they're doing. Like they could just do something in front of you and you're not going to pick up on it. They honestly, truly believe that. These people feel like, you know, I wouldn't go so far as to say they feel like they have powers, but I think they just feel entitled. I think they just feel fucking entitled, right? But I'm making that point to say, just like the thief steals right in front of you or right in front of the camera like a goddamn idiot, these narcs, these estranged parents who put out this content, they're basically telling on themselves. You could tell, one, by the lack of details about why the kid went no contact, because if it was something where you're laying it all out on the line, you should probably say it. One. Two, they're severely unlikable. You could tell a lot about a person's character from their choice of words. You could tell by the fact that all these people have fucking filters. It's like, you already said you're 64. What the fuck's the point of the filter? A lot of people didn't make it to 64. Just embrace the fact that you're fucking old. We all got to get old. What's the alternative? Right? So they're going to know by the behavior, by the tropes, by the live, laugh, love, tchotchkes and the bullshit that you got from clearance at Ross that you have on the wall to try to make people feel like you're a human. Those of us who have had any dealing with narcissists, whether they were our parents or not, we know what you are. And the comment section never, ever, ever fails to make me smile, unless they do that coward shit and they turn off their comments. Why would you... That's another thing. They're too fragile. In order to have a movement, you can't be fragile. You turning off the comments, okay, but you're assaulting my ears with nonsense, trying to lie to me about what you did to your adult, estranged child, but I can't give you feedback on what I see, but this is a real issue you have, and you're looking for feedback, and you just don't know how to fix it. So you're going to turn off the comments section. Okay, it's too obvious. But to those who have what it takes to keep the comments section open, I kind of almost got to tip my hat to them, because they're getting a beating. And guess what? I'm one of the people throwing punches, because I stay in the comments section. I always leave a comment similar to this. If you are the parent of the person you are referring to, you are 100% at fault. Period. So when you go to these videos, you see comments like mine, you see many other people making these same comments. These people can't handle criticism. These people can't handle being viewed as being in the wrong, even when they're in the wrong. They can't handle it. Quick story. Okay, and I had never seen my mother do anything like this. And it was just wild and jarring how she did it. She disciplined my sister too much. It went overboard. And, you know, me, you know, I'm going to say something. So I said something to her. I said, you know what, you're fucked up for that. And she looked at me, and tears welled up in her eyes. And I swear to God, she put her hand in her head, I should say, like into her arm, and then like ran out the room like a little girl. I swear to God. And then she plopped down on the bed and kicked her feet up in the air like a fucking little girl having a fucking tantrum because she can't get a lollipop after beating someone up. And then somebody just simply saying the words, "You're fucked up for that." And you're gonna run and holler and fall out. They can't handle the criticism. If you just stand toe-to-toe with them, and I'm not saying violence, but if you just stand toe-to-toe with them and you just say, hey, this is what you did and I don't fucking like it, they can't handle it. So how are you going to be a movement with an objective or whatever you're supposed to have? And how can you be a content creator and put information out there and be afraid of feedback and think that that's going to be a sustainable thing? The estranged parents movement will fail. It will. It will. It will absolutely fail. And I'll tell you this. Those of us scapegoats that are being talked about by these estranged parents on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram, wherever these people can go to find someone who will listen to their sob story about how they can no longer systematically abuse their children, psychologically, emotionally, financially, sexually abuse their children, okay? Anywhere they could find, you know, a shoulder to rest on, they go. But what follows them is people with common sense. They never think you can spot them. They think they're invisible, like the guy at fucking Walmart. You're not invisible. You just have a personality disorder. That's why it will fail. And then also, another piece, and this just came to me. If you want to have a movement, you kind of have to be selfless. Martin Luther King had a movement and was like, I'm not going to make it to the mountaintop with you, but hey, we got there. As long as we got there. A real leader sacrifices. Okay? Do you think that any of these people and these estranged parents, echo chambers, and little groups, and cruises, and all the little bullshit they're doing, which, hey, let's all go on a cruise, our kids hate us, right? Okay, no matter, I just lost my fucking train. What was I saying? This happens, getting older, it happens, right? Oh yeah. So no matter what they do, they can't get away from themselves. They can't get away from themselves. They cannot sacrifice for the greater good of anything. That's what I was talking about, the greater good. They cannot sacrifice for the greater good of anything because that would require to be a selfless person. We are all estranged with these people because all they think about is themselves. That's it. They think about themselves and no one else. That's why we're here now. So these movements will not make it. Okay? You got too many shitty people involved. And much like any good architect knows, if the foundation is shit, you're fucked. You know? If the foundation is unsteady, you have no footing. The movement has no footing. They've got some notoriety. You know, they got some notoriety, but so did whatever else was a fad. They're the fad. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the estranged parent movement is a fad. It is a way to be a part of something. It is a way to be at the cool girls table, even though you're all horrible people and you're in your 60s and you never got out of your mean girl phase. It is an opportunity to basically have entry to a place, be the easiest thing in the world because you fit that fucking description. You're a bum ass parent. That's the reason you're there. And they like easy things, so that's easy admission. But they don't ever think about the fact that they're going to be surrounded by many, many versions of themselves, and they can't handle it. And that's why that movement would fail. And that's why more of us, and I'll say this as a final point, more of us who are being talked about in these videos, which I'm not. My mom's not online as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know where my mom is, what she's doing, alive, not alive, I don't know. Okay? Right? But for those of us who are being talked about on social media, start making videos back. Make one video back. Okay? And I know people say, don't feed the narc, don't do this, don't do that to the narc. Make one video back and go over, just have a laundry list of what they did. Don't say any, don't even put any passion in it. It's like when I was 5, you slapped me across the face because you were mad at your boyfriend. Bullet point. When I was 12, you pulled my hair and called me a whore. Bullet point. When I was 18, you financially exploited me. Bullet point. Just say that and link it to their account. Say it, link it to their account. Matter of fact, go underneath all their fucking all their little shorts and all their little videos and link it there too. Say, hi, I'm Jane Doe, John Doe, whatever. And this is the truth of what happened. Since my mother or my father isn't going to give any details, I'm going to provide them. I will be making one video. I will not be addressing this issue any further. Believe what you want. Let's start doing that. Let's start fighting back a little bit. Let's start making it so that those comment sections are even more unbearable. Let's do that, because they will fail. They absolutely will.